Luciyasa somehow keeps digging this hole deeper, and every new clip that surfaces just proves it. She started by accusing another creator, Antigro, of being a Charlie Kirk supporter. She framed it like he was some political extremist, which is a pretty serious label to slap on someone in a public creator space, especially when your audience is emotional, loud, and terminally online. But here's the thing, the guy literally didn't even say what she claimed he said.
Text for this entire situation I'm going to briefly go over. Luciyasa was making a lot of claims about me to her viewers, saying that I had said things about the Charlie Kirk incident and posted videos and stuff like that. Basically things that I just had never said. She was telling her viewers that she no longer wanted to associate with me on behalf of this.
She literally twisted a simple statement about political violence into a narrative that made him look like a hardcore partisan just to stir drama. She was going around telling people he posted something like "pray for Charlie Kirk," which made it sound like he was some hardcore fanboy. Meanwhile, he goes back, checks his post, and finds the only thing he ever said about the situation was that cheering for someone's assassination was wrong. That was it. Maybe we shouldn't celebrate people getting killed over politics. This is literally the bare minimum human reaction, yet somehow it became the central plot for her narrative. Imagine being called a political extremist for literally saying "don't people online." Wild concept apparently. And instead of apologizing, Luciyasa doubled down. Because of course she did. This is internet drama. No one ever admits they're wrong the first time. That would be too normal, too mature. So the guy makes a video to clear his name because people are literally coming into his streams accusing him of stuff he never said. And then guess what happens next? Luciyasa slides into his DMs like, "Hey, I don't want any bad blood. Let's talk privately, human to human." Oh, okay, so now we're mature. Now we're communicating, now we're adults.
I'm now going to just show you the entirety of all DMs to Luciyasa and from Luciyasa. So as you can see, I was literally just never responded to. To this day, I've still never been responded to. So this is what preceded the threats from CC.
Except she ghosts him immediately. Like the moment he starts explaining his side, she just stops responding. No resolution, no clarification, no apology, just silence. She literally baited him into thinking she cared, then vanished as soon as the conversation got real. It's the kind of manipulation that makes you rethink trust online. The human-to-human conversation lasted about as long as a buffering Twitch stream on bad Wi-Fi, and the audacity is insane. She literally set up this fake mature talk just to make herself look reasonable and then vanished the second accountability became a thing.
Where she just accuses me for making these videos defending myself for money. I told her I'm happy to talk about the issue, but it's a crazy statement to imply I'm doing this for money.
And it gets even weirder, because during this whole thing, she apparently accused him of making videos just for TikTok revenue, as if clearing your name after being publicly misrepresented is some kind of cash grab strategy. Yeah, I'm sure he woke up that morning thinking, you know what could be a great business move? Getting falsely accused and then spending days defending myself from harassment. Absolute genius. He reveals he was actually invited to the tournament, but he declined. Not because he wasn't interested, not because he wasn't qualified. He declined because he already knew that people who caused drama with him would be involved. That alone should tell you something. Someone turning down a major opportunity just to avoid conflict is not someone chasing attention. But now CC, who also happens to be the Discord server leader, jumps in, and you'd think the mediator would be neutral, right? Maybe try to figure out who said what, check receipts, calm things down. Nope. She basically tells him he's the problem now, just because his videos reached more people than hers. Like somehow defending yourself makes you the villain. So let me get this straight. Someone makes a false claim about you publicly. People start harassing you. You respond publicly to defend yourself, and now you're the one causing harassment. That logic literally makes no sense. He's literally responding to lies with evidence, and that somehow gets twisted into harassment. He explained how huge this was for him. He started streaming with 0 viewers. He worked his way up to 50. He finally got accepted into this group that opens doors, and the moment he enters, he is told to stay silent or lose access. That's not support, that's control. But honestly, considering how she was basically Luciyasa's sidekick in the whole Kingsman fiasco, it's not surprising she was like this.
I received threats to be kicked from this group if I stuck up for myself.
You've got this dynamic where the main instigator throws the first punch and her support team doubles down on victim blaming while acting like they're peacemakers. And then the cherry on top, he gets warned that if he keeps making videos about the situation, it could be considered harassment and he might get kicked from the server. So the person who got falsely accused is now being threatened with consequences for defending himself. That's not mediation. That's basically telling someone to sit down, shut up, and accept the slander quietly so the vibes stay peaceful. And the worst part about this is that apparently it went on for months. He kept quiet, didn't fully push back, and says he even lost opportunities because of the situation. Because when someone with a bigger platform paints you a certain way, that label sticks. People don't check context, they just run with the narrative. Now fast forward to January 2026, you'd think by this point, after months of backlash and explanations, maybe things cooled off. Maybe people apologized. Maybe people even moved on. Nope.
Sympathizer. Here you go. He's saying the year of being bothered by someone being killed for political opinions is wrong, and the political opinion is literally Zionism. He's okay. All right. And the political opinion is literally Zionism.
A resurfaced VOD from January 22nd shows Luciyasa still calling him a Charlie Kirk sympathizer, still pushing the same narrative, still acting like nothing changed. This was literally a day after he posted a video exposing the whole timeline, the DMs, the accusations, everything. And instead of going, okay, maybe I should stop saying this, she just kept going. And then the VOD gets deleted. Of course it does, because that's the final step in every online drama circle. Say something wild, get called out, delete the evidence, and hope nobody clipped it. Except someone did. Because this is the internet. Nothing disappears. Everything is saved somewhere by someone with too much time in a folder labeled receipts. So the VOD gets re-uploaded to some site. People see it, and then suddenly that site goes down too. Now it's just a 404 page. Gone, like it never existed. Which only makes everything look more suspicious, because when stuff keeps vanishing, people start asking why. And the answer is usually not flattering.
I have a genuine question. Like, seriously, answer this. Even if you support Kingsman, whatever. Support Kingsman like it's fucking Israel. Anyways, whatever you have in your head, I have a genuine question. Ready? I'm saying.
And through all of this, there's also the earlier controversy where Luciyasa compared supporting Kingsman to supporting Israel, which even her own viewers were like, what?
No, I guess it was just like in bad taste. But at the end of the day, you're like, guys, I am a Lebanese Arab. Like, I have 100% donated more. I even had, what do you call it? Not that this is an excuse, but I'm saying I have definitely donated more than all of you guys combined to Palestinians. I literally have family there. I don't know really what, yeah. Anyways, regardless, let me see if there's anything else. Did he reach out to you? No.
And instead of addressing the criticism directly, she started flexing how much she donated to Palestine. Which is such a weird move, because donations aren't supposed to be a kind of debate shield. You don't get to say, I gave more money than you, so I'm automatically right. It just came off like she was using it as a deflection tactic. Like, instead of addressing the actual criticism, she tried to pivot the conversation into a morality contest. And the whole situation paints this picture of a creator who keeps making public accusations, refuses to properly resolve them privately, and then acts surprised when everything blows up. Because here's the thing, if you're going to accuse someone of something serious, you need receipts, you need context, you need accuracy. You can't just go off vibes and chat messages and then act shocked when the person defends themselves. And people wonder why small creators are scared to speak up, because situations like this show exactly what happens. You either stay quiet and let the narrative define you, or you speak up and risk getting labeled the problem for defending yourself.
I did do it at wrong times, I do admit, but in regards to me telling him to shut the f up, that is the only thing I think I am 100% justified in.
Meanwhile, when this whole thing blew up, most of the hate went to Cece, because she was already a big name in the Marvel rival scene, and Zaza Stacks, mostly because of her messy antics with her boyfriend Kaplunk, and that infamous Widow game where she went 0-5 with 200 ping and refused to switch. Luciyasa though, she barely got any heat because she's a smaller streamer, but honestly, once you look at the receipts, she might actually be worse than both of them. Betraying a friend in the middle of a tournament and then openly mocking him online? That's super shady.
When I said support Kingsman like it's supporting Israel, it was like I was saying the thing of like support, not specifically you supporting Kingsman is supporting Israel. It was the statement of support Kingsman or support Zaza. Like it's just I thought saying like supporting this is just like I thought.
Before the tournament even started, She was super tight with Kingsman, like they were best friends and even a ranked duo. But in the middle of the tournament, she straight up stabbed him in the back for these girls she didn't even know. Lots of people online noticed this and didn't let her off on this. First off, she starts off the stream in sub-only mode, and the title was, "I need this, I'm kind of homeless." Pretty obvious what she was doing there. It felt less like a genuine cry for help and more like her trying to milk the drama for attention and get subs from everyone watching. Imagine starting a Twitch drama over a tournament and somehow tying it to real-world genocide. And the chat reactions were brutal, obviously. People were calling out just how absurd it was to equate a college kid trying to win a $40,000 tournament with actual war crimes happening in real life. And honestly, they had every reason to roast her for it. It's not just a weird analogy, it's straight up tone deaf and makes her look completely unhinged. She literally compared a broke college kid to Israel. I cannot stress enough how absurd that is. This was probably the single worst thing anyone said on the entire internet that day, and we got to witness it all live. It's honestly wild how some people just refuse to take accountability. Instead of actually owning her words or addressing why it was a terrible comparison, she immediately deflects, claiming people are just blindly siding against us. Zero accountability, total deflection.
No, I guess it was just like in bad taste. But at the end of the day, you're like, guys, I am a Lebanese Arab. Like, I have 100% donated more. I even had, what do you call it? Not that this is an excuse, but I'm saying I have definitely donated more than all of you guys combined to Palestinians. I literally have family there. I don't know really what, yeah. Anyways, regardless, let me see if there's anything else. Did he reach out to you? No.
She framed it as some kind of exaggerated statement about support in general, like comparing support for one player over another, but honestly, it sounded so messy and it doesn't make sense.
Your ethnicity doesn't justify the moronic comparison, but I didn't compare. I think you guys are ignoring that. I didn't compare supporting Kingsman to supporting Israel. I guess it does sound like I said that, but honestly, I didn't mean to make it come off like that. I just didn't like the, oh, I support Zaza, I support Kingsman. I didn't like the picking sides. I thought it was silly.
Things got even messier on Twitter. Some old messages from her past friends and gaming buddies make the story even worse. Kittykin, for example, posted that they've been warned about Lucy being a piece of shit way back. And seeing the recent drama, it's honestly not shocking. In one DM, Ken talks about how Lucy pulled up their stats on stream and apparently it shook him, which seems petty and invasive. So it looks like Lucy has a habit of bringing up other people's stats and embarrassing them online.
Because your chat has fucking pedophiles in it.
What? What? Yo, what the fuck?
It gets even crazier when she starts calling Kingsman's chat pedophiles. Just completely wild and over the top. Somehow she manages to make every little interaction chaotic, and it's honestly impressive that Kingsman even puts up with dueling with her. Anything she says can turn a normal game session into a mess. Next up is her so-called apology to Kingsman, which barely even counts as one. It's basically just a sorry bro moment, like a shrug, not even an apology. She just tries to justify it with a long-winded explanation about the in-game situation, but it mostly comes off as her trying to excuse herself instead of actually owning what happened. Kingsman had already told her he wasn't okay after being frustrated in game. She admits she told him to keep quiet even though another teammate, Zaza, was clearly upset and struggling. Instead of supporting the teammate who was having a rough time, she doubled down, claiming she was glazing Zaza to encourage her to play better, which just sounds like a messy way of saying she kept pushing her point instead of actually helping. Then she drags out this whole back and forth about whether Kingsman did anything wrong. He insisted he didn't, saying he would make a video explaining his side, and she tries to argue that he actually did have some responsibility, pointing out that he could hear Zaza getting upset. Eventually, she mutters something about being sorry that he got kicked, phrased more like an afterthought than an actual apology. Meanwhile, Kingsman points out that she rage baited him during the match, which just makes the whole thing even more chaotic. Many people brought up how Luciyasa is easily the worst bully out of the bunch and is still making fun of the situation. On top of all that, she and her friends kept defending Zaza in ways that made little sense. If a teammate is performing terribly with high stakes on the line, it's normal to tell them to swap or change something to improve the team's chances. Instead, she acts like it's better to lie and coddle Zaza, pretending everything is fine while the team is losing. This kind of reasoning shows a huge disconnect from reality and makes the whole apology feel even weaker.
I'm taking accountability for what I did in the tournament, and really, truthfully, I don't think it's my fault though, because we're the victims here. we were attacked by Kingsman because Zaza wouldn't switch off of Widow, but she was doing fine. She was being targeted by Venom and Spider-Man the whole time. And even though Kingsman was 15-0 and Zaza was 0-5,
basically, the situation shows how little accountability she has. Instead of focusing on the fact that Zaza was completely tanking the tournament, she and her friends acted like it was better to coddle her rather than call her performance, which is the excuse that they're going with, but we all know the reality. Kingsman is a man. That is the only reason they didn't side with him. It's almost like they would rather let thousands of dollars go down the drain than risking hurting her feelings. If someone can't handle being told they're messing up in a competitive game, maybe they shouldn't even be playing at that level in the first place. She tries to frame it as her taking responsibility, but it's clear she's mostly concerned with spinning the situation to look good. She asks if Kingsman is okay, then immediately references how she told him to hush, which wasn't exactly the nicest way to handle things. When he points out that he didn't do anything wrong and plans to make a video explaining himself, she counters by saying it's not fair to say he did nothing wrong, pointing out that he could hear Zaza getting upset. The logic is all over the place, and the whole conversation just drags the blame around without ever landing on her actually owning what she did. Then comes the part where she finally says she's sorry, but it's telling what she's actually apologizing for. She says she's sorry that Kingsman got kicked, not that she personally caused it or that her actions contributed to the chaos. She refuses to acknowledge that she played a part in throwing the tournament or backstabbing him. Right after her apology, she tries to emotionally justify herself by saying she was excited to be on the same team. It's the perfect example of trying to mix a tiny bit of accountability with a way to make herself look better. If she did have public accounts though, she'd probably be cooked. She's kind of acknowledging that something went wrong, but it's clear she's more focused on smoothing things over than actually admitting fault. She's apologizing in a way that keeps her ego intact, avoids real responsibility, and tries to reset the situation without ever fully fixing the consequences of what she did. She tries really hard to make it seem like she didn't want Kingsman to get kicked, but the reality tells a very different story. There's actually a clip from a previous stream, either right after the tournament or maybe even during it, where she basically admits that she was fine with him being kicked. She frames it as analyzing the situation from the tournament host perspective, but it really comes off as tone deaf. In the clip, she goes on about how Bassam, the tournament host, has all these big names lined up like Moxie and Mark Desi, and if someone on the team is being pushy or argumentative, the host will be justified in replacing them. She uses this logic to justify the kick, implying that Kingsman was being too insistent about Zaza swapping characters and that it's somehow acceptable to remove him from the tournament because of it. She paints it like Kingsman was harassing the team, but if anyone actually watches the situation closely, it's clear that's not the case. Kingsman was politely asking Zaza to switch characters after she was performing poorly, and that's putting it well. It's a completely reasonable thing to do in a high-stakes competitive game. He was told to stop asking multiple times and still try to handle it professionally. Meanwhile, Zaza had even said she could play other characters, so Kingsman's suggestion was completely within reason. The idea that someone can be kicked from a tournament just for trying to help the team is ridiculous. Her whole explanation twists the facts in a way that makes her sound logical on the surface, but it falls apart the moment you look at the actual event. Kingsman wasn't being pushy for no reason. He was trying to get the team to succeed while Zaza was struggling with her performance. Framing it as if he deserved to be kicked just because someone couldn't handle a little criticism is a perfect example of how she misrepresents situations to make herself and her narrative look better. Right after the tournament, she openly agrees with Kingsman getting kicked, basically saying that Bassam, the tournament organizer, made the right call. She frames it like it was a logical decision because of the situation with the team. At the time, she seemed totally fine with it and didn't even try to sugarcoat her opinion. Fast forward to the deleted VOD, we're reviewing, and it's a total 180. Suddenly, she's acting like she never wanted Kingsman kicked and that she would have defended him if she'd known what was going to happen. She tries to make it sound like she's loyal to him, apologizing for the kick and saying she would have voted against it if she had a say. It's completely contradictory to what she said initially. One moment she's siding with the tournament organizers, and the next she's pretending she was on Kingsman's side all along. After getting slammed with criticism, she suddenly starts apologizing and claiming she wasn't the one responsible for Kingsman getting kicked. Then later in the same VOD, she starts ranting about Bassam, the tournament host, acting like he made the wrong call by kicking Kingsman. She flips it again, saying he changed his mind and shouldn't have been banned in the first place. But Bassam is actually the only one who apologizes for any mistakes he made. He's the only person in the whole situation to willingly own up to what happened and take responsibility for it. And what does she do? She calls him the biggest loser ever. She literally insults someone who is trying to do the right thing and has already admitted their faults, all while complaining that she's getting hit in negative comments in her own chat.
Also, there's other things about Bassam out there that, hey, if you want to look into it, look into it. But there's other shit on Bassam out there. And Bassam, if you're in here, bro, you are the biggest sellout of all time. You kick Kingsman out, and then you don't even properly fucking clear shit up. And you scream and shout for the Kingsman fans to all just be on your side because you switch sides because you don't want hate, you don't want heat, which is fine. But it's just,
who the fuck wants hate? Who the fuck wants fucking heat? Explain to me one person who wants hate. Tell me that for 1 second. But you know how you avoid that? You take accountability for your fucking actions.
Bassam even reacted to the clip and brought up how she was the one that needed to take accountability for what she did instead of constantly deflecting all the time. It gets even more confusing because she keeps trying to frame herself as the victim. Meanwhile, Bassam, despite being criticized himself, handles things the right way. He admits when he made a mistake as a tournament host. He acknowledges the backlash and even explains his decisions without trying to twist the story or make himself look better. He's calm, he's accountable, and he doesn't take the bait from anyone trying to start more drama. People are out here demanding public shaming like it's a national holiday, and honestly, I get it. Luciyasa and her crew literally fueled harassment, spread false accusations, and ghosted accountability. The idea of Marvel rivals just slapping a blacklist on them feels so satisfying because it's finally a line being drawn. Like, if you don't get to run around ruining someone's reputation and then act surprised when people call you out. This isn't about cancel culture hype, it's basic consequences. We've been watching this whole crew run wild, and now it finally makes sense why some of the behavior has been so toxic. People are waking up and seeing the pattern. Misandry isn't subtle here, it's waving a flag. And the best part, the internet is eating it up, pointing out the hypocrisy, the aggression, the petty targeting. It's messy, it's loud, and honestly, it's exactly what happens when someone's ego meets a vendetta. People are tired of waiting for accountability and are imagining the absolute maximum comeuppance. Career erased, internet clout gone, back to reality like a McDonald's uniform slap in the face. This isn't just drama commentary, it's catharsis for months of watching her lie, ghost, and stir chaos. And the touch grass line? Iconic. Internet fame doesn't teach responsibility, and this person is imagining a world where she actually has to deal with consequences instead of hiding behind screens, VOD deletions, and a parade of excuses. Okay, this is the contrast everyone needs. While Luciyasa is out here creating drama, ghosting DMs, and twisting narratives, this guy, the one being falsely accused, is just normal. He's literally a decent human being, playing games, trying to have fun, treating people like people. And that makes the entire situation even more frustrating. He doesn't deserve this circus, yet he's getting dragged into months of harassment. This tweet is pure, unhinged chaos energy, and honestly, it captures the mood perfectly. Fried to a crisp and thrown in the trash, that's exactly how you feel about someone who keeps doubling down on lies and drama. Luciyasa isn't just wrong, she's catastrophically wrong. And the internet is out here seasoning her for maximum burn. At this point, it's less about politics or creators or Discord servers. It's about basic responsibility. If you say something publicly about someone, you need to make sure it's true, and if it's not, you fix it. You don't just keep saying it louder and hope people stop questioning you, because the internet has a memory, and it's petty, and it loves receipts, and eventually everything circles back, which is exactly what happened here. And now the whole situation just sits there as another example of how fast things spiral when creators treat accusations like casual stream commentary instead of serious claims about real people.